Up, everybody? We are back with another NBA video. I got my friend Patrick here again. Patrick, say hi to all the viewers.
What's up?
And today we're going to be starting kind of a new segment under Sports Hot Takes. It's going to be my hot takes. So basically, how we're going to do this is I got 7 NBA bubble takes, just kind of some hot takes. Some of them are lukewarm, some of them are hot, some of them are spicy takes. But these are just kind of my opinions on watching those 8 games in the bubble. And so then once I kind of give my reasons why and my take, I'm going to set a 2-minute timer for Patrick to either agree, kind of give his points as well, or for us to kind of go back and forth and, and he kind of argue back and forth on our reasons why or why not. So, and that is going to have a 2-minute timer on there. I will put the timer on the screen so you guys can see, but we're going to have hot takes flying at you fast. So that's kind of how we're going to start this. And we may make some tweaks and, bump the timer up in the future. We'll see how it goes. But for now, we'll keep it to a 2-minute timer because we got some topics to start with. So my very first one is, and these are in no particular order. Like, it's not like this is my hottest take or anything like that. So my very first one, Blazers need to trade CJ McCollum. Now, my reason, the Blazers have Damian Lillard. He's a beast. But then they have Damian Lillard super light in CJ McCollum. They have the same
Super
player.
light. Oh man.
Yeah, they have the same player, score first, kind of defense later. I know Damian Lillard is a good defender when he needs to click it in, but McCollum is not that good of a defender. And the Blazers' number one need is a wing defender who can also score. I know that's asking a lot, but they need kind of that superstar, perennial superstar, like a Brandon Ingram type. I know he's not on the trade block, but somebody like that. And so I think they should trade CJ McCollum for a person like that. So that's kind of my take. Let me get the timer. And I am about to set the 2-minute timer. So we'll start that in 3, 2, 1, go. I want to hear what you have to think.
So I agree with like your premise on how the team's structured. I think it's a little redundant to have those guys. Neither of them are going to be optimized. But the problem is the other 29 NBA teams know that.
Yeah.
Who are you going to get in whatever wing guy you're going to get, especially because that's just a way more value position than like a combo guard. It's going to be a diminished return.
Yeah.
And I know Dame really likes CJ. They like the team they have. They kind of pride themselves on staying the course. Spend a lot of money to keep it together. Like it's a tough sell. Obviously, it all depends. I mean, I'd trade Damian Lillard if they give me some crazy return.
Yeah.
No one's not on the trade block, but it's got to be good, and I just don't think it will.
That's the biggest thing I was thinking as well. But my counter thought to that is, say they trade him to a really bad team, like let's say the Hornets, for a top pick. They trade their picks and CJ McCollum to get in the 3rd or 4th spot in the draft. Not necessarily this draft, but a draft in the future that they know they can get a young wing. That would kind of be my play because, like you said, I don't think they're going to get a proven star wing player, at least not for just CJ McCollum. They may have to trade Nurkic, which I don't think they do. But that was kind of
maybe Dame negged Paul George into wanting to join him.
Yeah, that was just kind of my takeaway. Is I think the Blazers got to get rid of CJ. That's my hot take there. And we actually finished within the timer. We have what 5 seconds left. So perfect. We finished with roughly about 5 seconds left. So we finished it in that 2-minute timer. So we did not even need to add time for that one. Now this one we're not going to add time this time, but this we may look back at this and make a whole new episode about this.
There we go.
This is probably my hottest one. The Nets will force Giannis to Golden State. Now,
oh man,
the Nets, they are not that good right now, but they're going to get Kyrie and KD back next season, right? I think that team is by far better than Giannis's team with the Bucks, and I think because of that, they're just going to beat up on him. Giannis is a free agent in 2 years. Golden State has kind of been passively recruiting, if not hinting at getting Giannis for a year or two already. So I would not be surprised if the Nets they come back full force and they beat down the Bucks, and Giannis looks at the NBA East and he's just like, we're not going to beat the Bucks, or we're not going to beat the Nets, and the Bucks aren't going to attract too many superstars. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Golden State and they form another dynasty, honestly. So that's mine. Let me put the 2-minute timer. We'll start it in 3, 2, 1, go. Let me know what you think.
So I don't hate this one. I think we're a little different on how good the Bucks are. I don't think they're by far better, especially if Durant. He's coming off the Achilles injury, and Kyrie is. I love him, but he's inconsistent sometimes, and already pushed a coach out. It seems so. He's tough, and it might not be how you think it is, but let's accept that premise. Giannis gets crushed by the Nets.
Yeah. See,
I don't know if the cap space works out. Maybe I could be wrong. I haven't
for him to go to Golden State.
Yeah.
So my add to that take is they get rid of Draymond Green.
Okay.
So I think they bring in Giannis and they kind of ship off Draymond. I know he's
that could work as a sign and trade if Giannis wants to leave.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do some form of a sign and trade, or they trade Draymond to clear cap. I don't think they see Draymond as that long-term answer. And if they want to keep Clay and Curry for their entire Warrior careers. So trade that, like, who would you rather have, Giannis or Draymond? The Warriors are smart. They're gonna pick Giannis if it comes to that. So I think that was kind of.
By the way, I love the term passively recruiting.
They have been. I mean,
we're not Adam. We're not tampering. This is passively recruiting.
Yeah,
do not find me.
They have been. They leave little nuggets here and there about Giannis coming to Golden State. They make little comments. I wouldn't be surprised. They do stuff. The Warriors, they're active at all times. They're very active on the trade block. They're always looking to improve. So that's kind of the take there.
I mean, that kind of bait and switch with Russell was interesting, even if it got them Wiggins.
And there we are. All right, we're out of time. But yeah, I agree with you. They're always active on the trade market. That's why I wouldn't be surprised about it. My third take is Devin Booker needs out of the Suns ASAP. Now, I know he signed that huge deal recently, last season, I believe.
Oh man.
The Suns suck. It's literally
8-0.
It's literally Devin Booker carrying that team. The Suns are bad, and they have been bad. They have wasted away his young career. I know he's only 22, because he came in the league at 19, because he was just he was just so.
Did you have this take like school 2 weeks ago, and
I've been sitting on this one.
With it.
I've been sitting on this one, but Devin Booker needs out. He needs to demand a trade tomorrow, because the Suns suck. They will never amount to anything, even with him on there. Like, he needs to get out of there. He should not wait for his contract. So here, we're gonna start the timer.
Oh man!
In 3, 2, 1, go. Let me know. I want to hear it.
He's 22. You said it yourself. He has a chance. All that Suns history from the aughts to this decade of either being irrelevant or losing in just hideous and creative ways. He needs to have his chance, his shot at being the hero who breaks that cycle. He needs to. ASAP, 3 years down the road, maybe. We just cannot have this conversation right now. This is a bad take. I'm sorry.
No. I don't think the Suns will ever amount to anything. They may make the playoffs with him, but I just don't see him in the West with the Rockets, the Clippers, the Lakers. I don't see him being any better than the 4th seed. The Thunder are a better team, even if Devin Booker got help. The Mavericks are a better team.
Help's on the way, though. They look really good 8-0 in the bubble, obviously, and
Yeah, but that was him
we talked about
carrying them.
Giannis. I mean, Arizona's really nice, better than Milwaukee.
It is. That's the one thing they have going for him. Free agents we have seen go there with Amar Stoudemire. We have seen it. Shaq. I mean, it was the end of his career, but we have seen people go there.
I mean, if that's like Nash Stoudemire 2, then that wins some titles. That would be so good.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does in the West. I think if he goes to the East, he has a much better shot. And I just think the team, the Suns, they're
Well, I mean,
dysfunctional.
that's again, it's just like rearranging deck chairs because the winner of the bloodbath that is the West will play Devin Booker's team.
Yeah, but he could say he's on the Celtics or say he's on the Sixers.
Don't you tease me.
Say he's on the Sixers. Imagine Simmons, Booker, and Embiid. All I'm saying is he can get to a better situation. We're running out of time. We got 4 seconds. The time is going off right now. But I think better situations are elsewhere. He needs to go.
3 years. 3 years.
All right, next take. Grizzlies are not that good. Now, I do have the luxury of saying that after they just lost to the Blazers, but I think at this point in time, the Grizzlies, I know they were the 8th seed before their injury to Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is a really good player. I don't think the Grizzlies are that good of a team. I don't think they're like on the rise per se. I mean, they're young. I'll give them that, and they do have pieces. But I don't see them being as that next team that makes the jump. I think the Mavericks are by far better. I think the Thunder, I know they have CP3, but besides that, they're a very young team. I think they're by far better. I think there's a lot more younger teams that are much better than the Grizzlies. I hate to say it because I do love watching John Morant and I do like Jaren Jackson. I think they're a little overrated, and I think going into the bubble, being the 8th seed, had them a little overrated as well. So let me start the clock. 3, 2, 1, go. What do you have to think?
So this is a good one, unless that Jaren Jackson injury isn't as bad as I think it's going to be. He looked good. He's got some problems, but because of him just being this big, lanky guy. He's a little bit, honestly, more like Porzingis than I thought he would be. Just his ability, those quick releases off of like screens and stuff. That's just 7-2 guys don't do that.
Yeah.
And to pair him up with Morant, and then don't sleep on Brandon Clark, who
I like him a lot. But
trying to get that 3 going, but he's going to be Morant's pick and roll guy for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a fun team. It could be a little bit more like the grit and grind days where they were just like the team you had to get over before you played the main character in the West.
Exactly. That's kind of how I see them as well. Like I see them, even if they do pan out to be really good, I see them, or really good in air quotes, I see them kind of being that 5th to 8th seed pretty consistently. Yeah, they're that team that's good. They'll win a game or two in the playoffs, but I don't see it. And another thing is Memphis isn't that big of a tourist of a destination as well. So them bringing in free agents, they're going to have to draft, and I'll give it to them. They have drafted very well with, like you said, Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson, John Morant.
Kind of fluky though.
But with only 3,
they keep rolling 6s.
Yeah, with only 3.
And the Celtics have their pick this year.
Yeah, they need. Yeah, exactly. They don't have their picks. They need more. They need more players. They're not that good of a team as it stands right now. So I think they were a little overrated. I know Ja's hyped, or he's a lot of fun to watch, but I think they're just a little hyped up. And timer is off, so we're done on that one. Next one, I got 3 more. This one might be up there with my Giannis to the Bucks or Devin Booker to the Suns. Ben Simmons needs to be traded. 76ers need to trade him. I don't pick a place of where they need to trade him, but 76ers need to trade Joel Embiid, or not Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. My reason is we kind of talked about this on our playoff picks. The Sixers have a bunch of like mix match puzzle pieces, and they don't fit together. For whatever reason, they just don't. Ben Simmons can't really shoot. I know he's young. People say give him a chance, but what is his fourth season now? And he still won't. He shoots like 3 threes the entire season. So I just don't see him. He just doesn't fit, in my opinion. And I think Embiid is the much better player. I hate to say it, like I know he's hurt, but I think Embiid is your superstar. You trade Simmons for a true guard. If they say they trade him to the Blazers for Damian Lillard, that would be crazy. That's just out there.
I don't know if Blazers would take that one.
I don't think they do. I'm just saying that's who they need. They need like a Damian Lillard type, kind of score first.
That being said, Damian Lillard and Ben Simmons would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my take. Ben Simmons needs to be traded. The Sixers need to get rid of him. Let me start the timer. We got 3, 2, 1, go.
So we talked about like Milwaukee, right, and their supremacy. That Sixers team defensively can hang with them. We saw that on Christmas. And I think, again, like it's a little misconceived. I know the shooting is weird with Simmons and Embiid on the floor, but they post really good net ratings together.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because just the length on defense. That will wear you out as a team, especially a smaller one. And so I like it. The only problem is like what you said was the puzzle pieces thing.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris isn't going to get you anything on the trade market. Al Horford isn't.
Yeah.
So how do you rearrange that team? You're looking at Embiid or Simmons.
Exactly.
And if you don't see this team winning a championship, what are your options? And that's badly need shooting.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm kind of with you on this, but I think that's still a pretty good team. Maybe they figure it out one year. I think you also have to trust, Thibault or Shake Milton
to develop,
to emerge as that guy.
So
and 3 shooters around Embiid and Simmons is going to be lethal. It's going to be very hard to beat, especially if those shooters can defend.
Yeah, if they can figure out the other puzzle pieces, I'd say maybe stick it, maybe keep them. But I just don't think they'll figure it out. And I think, like I mentioned, like a Damian Lillard type with Joel Embiid would fit much better. I know on defense it might not be as good, but I think offensively and kind of to get them over that step, because I think they have a ceiling right now, and I think they could pretty, I would say easily. I mean, you have to trade Ben Simmons, but I think with a trade to get a guard, I think they could pass that.
I don't like Ben Simmons. Drew Holiday's a little bit older, so you probably have to get picks back. That wouldn't be the worst outcome, but McCollum's
he's
there.
Not worth Simmons, but
exactly. That's the thing. Like, it's just tough.
That's the timer. 2
they
minutes.
They know you got to trade Simmons because it doesn't work out, and you're going to get a diminishing return.
Yeah. It's a tough situation, but I think they should get rid of him. Last one. Let me pull this up. So the Raptors, we talked about this as well a little bit in our playoff picks. Hot take, Raptors are the 2015 Hawks. And what I mean by that is they are a great regular season team. They play very well together. They have depth. They like on paper, they look like a really good team. The problem is they don't have that superstar. They're going to get into the playoffs, and once they play kind of that first challenge, I think they're going to get. I think they're going to get steamrolled. I see it kind of playing out just like the 2015 Hawks, where the Hawks were the number 1 seed. I believe they blew out their first matchup, but then they played LeBron and they got absolutely destroyed.
They had 2-1 or down to the Wizards.
Yeah.
That was the famous I Call game. By the GOAT himself.
Exactly. So I think the Raptors will pan out similar to the 2015 Hawks. I don't think this one is that hot, but let me know what you think. Ready, go.
See, I think this one I agree with. A lot of it is because I just don't think Siakam's ready. Lowry's going to play his ass off. He's Chris Paul, but Eastern Conference. He's been so damn good for them. And their supporting cast is good as well. OG Anunoby, Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
Norman
they have
Powell,
the bodies.
I mean, Marc Gasol, so many guys.
Yeah, they have the bodies. I'll give them that.
But like you said, that's good for the regular season. That's good for the 82-game grind. You're going to have 7 or 8 guys that you put in, and some of those guys that helped you get those wins aren't going to be there, and it's just going to be 7 games. Another thing, Siakam, against the Celtics at least, I don't know if it's the same against Milwaukee, he played very badly in the game in the bubble. The Celtics blew the Raptors out for their only
Yeah.
loss in the bubble. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are good defenders for Siakam. He can't shoot it. He's going to have to attack them, and they're strong. They're quick. If Siakam can't shoot, he's going to have a tough time against Boston.
Yeah. That's the thing is they just don't have, without Kawhi, they just don't have that superstar. Who they may make it farther than I think this year in the playoffs because Kyle Lowry, there's no fans, so Kyle Lowry won't just. He may not utterly collapse like he always does in the playoffs and average 2 points per series.
He was good in
He was good last year. I'll give it to him. But before that, with DeRozan, he was terrible.
Honestly, DeRozan was like the main villain of that.
Yeah.
Lowry played okay, but DeRozan just again when it got to the playoffs, it's like he's great in the regular season, but
they were
taking
trash,
21 footers and clanking them.
Yeah,
LeBron's
exactly.
Just going nuts.
So I think that's the first one that we kind of agree on, right? As the timer
There's
is
some like I half
down.
agree on, but the one that I really just we might get back to at the end is just the Booker is just crazy.
And okay, timer's out on that one. That one wasn't super hot. I feel like I could get a lot of people on board with that one. My last one, and let me preface this one. The Nuggets are the scariest team outside of the Clippers. And I don't mean just in the West. I think I said just in the West when we were playing on Xbox yesterday when I first mentioned this. I mean in the playoffs. In my opinion.
What does scariest mean?
Like
second best team?
Second. I would put them probably third best team overall in the entire playoffs. I'd have number one. This could be biased, but I have the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, and if I was the Clippers or the Lakers, the Nuggets would be that team that I'd be like, I want to play them last or not at all. You know, they're the scariest team in my opinion because Bull is playing well. He's young, I know, but he is a development piece. He was playing pretty well. Michael Porter Jr., I don't know why I blanked on that for a second. Another development piece, has really had a breakout bubble. They have Jokic, Murray. They're very, very deep. To me, they're the third best team. I think they're better than the Bucks, and I know they probably won't play each other to prove that, but I think they're better than the Bucks. So that's my take. They're the third best team in the playoffs in the NBA, I guess you could say. Oh, let me get the timer and go. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you
I'm at 50-50 on this one too. I like them. I'm not sold, at least in the playoffs, for Michael Porter. We talked about it the last episode.
Yeah.
I think it's those shooting lanes are going to get tighter. Those closeouts are going to get better. He does not have that good of a release. He is super tall, but you have guys in your airspace. I just don't think the shots are going to fall the way they do. He is really good, though, offensive glass, rolling to the rim, driving to the rim. Like he's a solid player. I can't imagine him playing bad. I just can't imagine him going nuts. And that's what they need. That's what they need to compete with the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah, that's the one thing that may make my take fall a little bit is they may just be a year or two away. You know, like
Michael Porter might be a year or two away.
Yeah,
the rest of the team is there.
Yeah, but give Porter and Bull a year or two to kind of develop. And that team, they might be in 2 years. Bull though he played pretty well. Like you'll give it to him.
I think I'm gonna have to switch allegiances to the Nuggets if Bull can play like 20 minutes a game.
If you think about it, Bull's first game was in the bubble. He didn't play at all during the regular season pre-COVID-19 because he was hurt. So
transition, like step up three.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are the scariest. Like I said, they're the third best team. I look at them right now, and in the future, they're the scariest team in my opinion because of their young talent and the team that they currently have is ready to win. So, like kind of what you said, they have best of both worlds. They have the depth, they have the pieces ready to win now, and they have young talent that could take them over the top.
I still can't believe he went 15.
because he was
Where did
hurt.
he go?
Because
Like they just
yeah,
fell to the Nuggets like that. That's
because
crazy.
he had that bad foot injury or no
Yeah,
back
he came into the
back injury.
tournament and was incredibly out of shape. Actually
Yeah,
played bad.
and
Uh,
that's the timer for the topic. But keep going. We'll finish
yeah,
this one.
and he just goes 14, but so much of the scouting goes on like the junior senior year of high school where he was unstoppable.
He so before that season, he was projected first or second overall. But the reason
I feel like
was not.
Durant comps.
Yeah, the biggest thing with him is it wasn't necessarily that he was hurt. It was there was rumors that that his back injury was going to be a chronic, reoccurring
Yeah,
back injury.
he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's six
So
ten, I believe.
big
So
guy.
with back problems, that's worrisome. But he's been balling. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Even with the bad back, just all right, stand in the corner and shoot threes.
yeah,
You're gonna
exactly.
make 45% of them, and no one can block you. It's like
Yeah,
Dirk made a career off of just the slowest moves.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
you got to at least pick him three.
that's all my takes. We'll kind of wrap it up there. I'm going to recap them all. And like I said, we may make an episode on one or two of these because some of them are pretty hot. But first one I had McCollum needs to be traded. Second
Me too.
one, Nets will force Giannis to Golden State. Third one, actually kind of go off of that, and Draymond Green won't be there in asterisks. Third one, Devin Booker needs out of the Suns today, so he needs to demand a trade. Fourth one, Grizzlies are not that good. They're a little overhyped.
Could you imagine how much he'd be hated if they go 8-0?
Doesn't matter.
Get me out of this dump.
Fifth one, Ben Simmons needs to be traded. Sixers need to find a better puzzle pieces that go together better. Sixth one, did I say that correctly? Sixth one, Raptors are the 2015 Hawks. I think they'll in the playoffs they'll kind of fall on their face a little bit without a superstar. And seventh, and the last one is Nuggets are the third best team in the NBA. And they're the scariest team in my opinion outside of the Clippers for the Lakers. And if I was the Lakers or Clippers, I wouldn't want to play them. And those are kind of my
That's gonna be a
takes.
second rounder.
Yeah, it's going to be scary. I'm worried about them.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
they concern me the most. But
Both
those
of
are
those
my
second round
takes.
matchups, if the Nuggets win that first round, are going to be crazy in the West.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm
must-see
excited.
TV.
I'm excited for the NBA playoffs. But those are my bubble takes. I may have some more takes throughout the playoffs, so we may have another takes episode. But always let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe because I will be doing a lot more NBA content now that we're in the playoffs. And then NBA or NFL season is right around the corner. So I will be doing a lot of NFL stuff. I watch almost every single game on Sunday. Try to. I know Patrick does as well. So we'll be back for a lot of NBA and NFL stuff. But as always, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.